Isabella, I need to consult you about something. Is that okay? Hi, good evening. What is it again? In the recent mom party that we had, it's about the post-exam trip to Disneyland. Yeah, we're working hard too. And it's spring break after exams. Parents have to have fun too. That's true. Parents have been doing their best. It would be like a graduation trip for parents. That's right. But Disneyland was an unexpected choice though. You didn't like it? Not at all. It's just that as a choice for mom friend trip, I thought we'd go to a hot spring or something. I was especially surprised that you brought it up. Sure, hot springs are nice, but isn't it nice for adults to go to Disneyland? It's good for adults to have a good time at Disneyland, isn't it? It's a stress reliever. Yeah, I guess so. I just wanted to get away from the hustle and bustle of the city. I see. Well then, let's go on another trip to the hot springs. Even after graduating from junior high school, the Mom Friends Alliance is unwavering, right? You really want to go to Disneyland. I'm sorry, I'm just in the mood. I see. So, this time, on my own accord, I'm getting us to go to Disneyland, so let me be the host. What? Actually, I know someone at a travel agency. Really? You know how hard it is to get reservations for spring break? Disneyland is a good candidate for a graduation trip. That's true. So I will use my friend connections to book our hotel and tickets. I would ask to be prioritized. But that's kind of bad. Isn't that rude to your friend too? Not at all. It's more like a thank you for using us to make reservations. I'm sure it helps sales. Right? I mean, it's nice of you to offer that, but did you ask the other two? Yeah, they said yes. Really? They said they'd be more than happy to. Oh, really? So I'll just go ahead and do it. Huh? Actually, I've already made some plans. Oh, really? Aren't you early? It's rather late. Spring break starts around the end of the year. Reservations start coming since the end of the year. My friend told me that we're almost late. Really? It's good to make reservations earlier than later. So, as the organizer, I'm making sure everything is in order. Don't worry, Isabella and the kids' exams are the top priority. Good luck. Wait, what about you, Mia? Oh, we got into a private school on a recommendation. What? Really? You were really uneasy about it just a few days ago, weren't you? Yes, I was. But you know, Jin can't study. And if he can get into that high school through track and field, we'd be very grateful about it. Is that so? Yeah, plus they're waiving the entrance fee. That's great. That's right. So if there's a high school that appreciates Jun so much, we decided that maybe it's the way to go. That's what it is. So I have more time than anyone else. I'll make sure everything goes well. But it's okay. So I'll be in touch. 2 days before trip. Isabella! Congratulations! I heard Oliver passed. Thank you. That's great. It's Harvard, right? As expected of Oliver, right? I'm sure he did all his best this time. After he retired from track and field, he immediately started to study for the entrance exam. I'm surprised he made it in time. That's Oliver. I believed in him. That's reassuring. Thank you. You're welcome. You've been through a lot too, right? Thank you for the hard work. Thank you. So, I'm sorry to tell you this, on this timing, I wanted to talk to you about Disneyland. Is that okay? Sure. I was wondering why I hadn't heard from you. When was the last time we talked about it? January. I'm sorry. I really wanted to contact you more. But the exams were in session. I didn't think you'd want to talk about parents' fun. Oh, I see. You didn't have to worry about it at all. I do. That's why I agreed to take over to be the organizer. Since our school is a national school, the entrance exams are over in February, so I didn't mind if you contacted me. Oh, really? And I've been trying to reach you, but I didn't get a call back from you, Mia. What I'm just saying is, I was wondering if something had happened to you. Sorry about that. I was aware of your message, but I thought it might distract you if I replied. I've been trying to refrain from replying. I'm sorry to put you on the spot. I was the one who contacted you. You shouldn't have to worry if you're bothering me or not. No, when the kids are working hard on the exams, it's not nice for parents to talk about travel. I see. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you feel so uncomfortable. No problem. Anyway, when you contacted me last time, you said you made reservations, right? That's right. Yes, I did get a reservation. I actually did, but... You did, but what happened? Because it's on spring break, all the hotels were fully booked everywhere. I asked my friend to get us a room anywhere. Anywhere will do, just reserve us anywhere. I see. That's a lot of work. Yeah, it was. It was really a lot of work. So, the travel fee is incomparable to the plan. It got expensive. Oh, really? Yeah, sorry, but it's not just us. It's everyone, so I hope you understand. If it's a lot more expensive than it used to be, how much? Yeah, well, we're going to be paying 150,000 yen each for travel expenses. It's a lot to book, but I'm going to do my everything to make it the best mom's trip ever. I'm not going on this trip based on your plan. What? Why do you have to be so rude? Oh, excuse me. What do you mean leaked out? That's a little harsh, don't you think? How could you say such a thing? I've been working so hard for all of us. What? For everyone? Not for yourself? What do you mean? I mean, Isabella, you've been very aggressive with me. Why? I'm the one asking why. Why are you charging us so much? It's only Disneyland. 150,000 yen for a night? I told you, it's spring break. It's hard to get reservations. The hotel we could get was charging spring break prices. They're all overpriced for spring break. I heard that, but you know what? From where we live, the cost of travel to Disneyland and the cost of tickets, 150,000 yen per night is unthinkable and unbearable. That's a ridiculous amount. I told you the expensive place is all that we can get. Oh, by the way, where? What? What hotel? If it's that expensive, it must be a great hotel. I mean, there's no hotel near Disneyland for that kind of money, right? No. Only a handful of classes in California charges that much money. What? How is that possible? My friends around me were able to get a room smoothly in hotels directly managed by Disney. What? During times like this, family and graduation trips, I know a lot of people who go to Disneyland. If you ask them, they'll tell you what's really going on. Really? So that time, you said that you got scolded by acquaintances for being late? Before being appointed as the organizer, you said you had a plan, didn't you? Yes, I did. So why are you telling me that you couldn't get a reservation at all? Isn't it terrible that you took it upon yourself to organize the party without our consent? What do you mean it took on the responsibility of organizing the party? You guys were having a hard time with your kids' exams. I kindly took care of it for you. Is that really true? What? Did you really take over as organizer out of our kindness? Of course I did. What else could it be? What else? Like, help someone else make a sale? Or maybe you're just trying to get yourself a free trip, so that you can travel for free. What? Oh my god, did I just hit the nail on the head? Of course not! Why would I do that? Whose sales are you talking about? What, not your boyfriend? What? The guy who's been showing up on Mia's behind-the-scenes Instagram account. That's your boyfriend, right? What? Why? What? Someone told me about him, but I don't remember who. Where did you hear that from? Yeah, it seems to be famous in the mom circle. Mia's behind-the-scenes Instagram account. What? You are proudly posting two-shot with your boyfriend. You're so bold, even though it's adultery. You're kidding! You didn't think they knew? It looks like it was discovered long ago. Why didn't you tell me? Well, that's because it turns people into enemies. What? Isn't it because you cheat people and make yourself look good, so you can take all the credit? What? Mia, you go on a trip with various people, then you forge a bill to pay, so that you could get a free trip, right? Huh? What are you talking about? There's no way I could do that. I'll send you a copy of the proof of payment. Did you see it? You saw that, right? It's not funny. I can't possibly forge this. Actually, you can, with your boyfriend. What? He's a travel agent, right? This acquaintance told us about... You mean, your boyfriend, right? What? When you make travel arrangements as the organizer, you have your boyfriend in charge in addition to the data that's proceeded internally. You create falsified data, and then charge each person 150,000 yen. Mia herself is also paying the bill, and she shows it to everyone. 750,000 yen in total, but then I checked the bills that were still in the company's internal data. 70,000 yen bill per person. 350,000 yen total, and the hotel was a regular city hotel in Oregon. That's crazy, right? Huh? What's with this delusion of internet data? You're mixing up your fantasy with reality. You must be an idiot. You're so delusional that you're accusing people of being delusional. You're crazy, you know that? It's not a fantasy, it's real data. Here, I'll send you a picture. What? See, this is the real payment, right? Mia? Why? What do you think? Don't play dumb with me. Why do you have this picture? You seduced him. You took it from him. You're an asshole. What? What are you talking about? Don't play with me like that, you faded old hag. What's a faded old hag? You're exactly like that. Your love life is more important than your kid's entrance exams, right? You decided to recommend him so early. No, I didn't. John said it was fine. Oliver said, Jan wanted to apply to another school. What? But his mother told him to commit in that school, and he surely won't fail if he does it there. And he'll finish the entrance exam early, and if the entrance fee is waived, he was told that they can go on a trip. What's that? We can go on a trip? You were stingy with the travel expenses of your mom friends and tried to go for free. Jan said that? Also, since the entrance exam was over early, Mom's been working part-time and going out a lot. She's hardly ever home. She brought home a lot of brochures from travel agencies. What? RTB, Town A. What? That's a big branch of a major travel agency in the next station, right? That's where he works. And they put him in charge of all the moms and dads. He makes plans for a lot of trips with his mom friends. What? How do you know all this? Are you saying you saw something? How would you know if I saw something? What? If I saw something? How would I know if Mia did something wrong? I don't know. I've never done anything wrong. But I did see something. Well, technically, someone showed me. What? The branch in A-Town. My brother-in-law works there. Your brother-in-law? That's right. My sister's husband's the branch manager. What? The branch manager? So, when I was looking through the appointment book, he saw my name in one of Mia's reservations and called me. He asked if I was going on a trip. Oh, really? And that's when he told me, Mrs. Johnson, the organizer, is she good friends with our Smith? I asked him why. This is Mrs. Johnson. She's always booking trips for Smith. She's your friend, right? Is everything okay at her home? He said. What? You're telling me that he gave out people's reservation information? I didn't ask him about the reservations or any of the details, but from my brother-in-law's point of view, I'm sure he thought it was crazy. Mia would show up during the Smith's guys' breaks. He'd go to lunch or disappear somewhere. So, he was being monitored like that? What is that? I should complain to the company. I mean, the company can't afford to have an affair with a client. It's not like they're looking for trouble. It's a way of preventing trouble. It can't be helped. What? Does that mean I'm a person to watch? I guess you're right. According to my brother-in-law, he's had his eye on you for a while. Just because I'm suspected of infidelity? That's good enough for me. Well, it's not because you set up a shady appointment with Smith. What's fishy about that? I just told you. It's a tampering charge. What? Instagram exposed you. I told you it was because you bought a grudge against you. You've done something like this before, right? What? That's what I heard. So when Mia said she wanted to be the organizer, I thought, this is it. What's that? But I'm stuck here with my son's exams. I've got the kid's social life. I can't just say no. So I've been sending you regular messages online to check in with you, but you completely ignored me. When you contacted me once, the only message you told me was that it might be too expensive. Just when I thought, oh, this could be that black, I got a call from my brother-in-law. What's that perfect timing? Yeah, it was. So, you're saying you knew something was fishy? That's right. By the time my son finished his entrance exams, I totally knew. Really? But it still surprised me. You used your boyfriend's company, and then used the difference to go on a trip with your boyfriend. I don't know. You did that, right? You've been doing it for a while now. And you were going to do it, weren't you? Using my name. Oh! I was surprised when my brother-in-law told me. Isabella, this Miss Johnson, you get along pretty well with her that you go to 2 trips on spring break? Me and Mia? Were we supposed to go on 2 trips? Oh no! And I was surprised again at the price. The price you charged me this time, excluding you, who has no intention of paying, 150,000 yen times 4 people equals 600,000 yen. The original billing price of 70,000 yen times 5 people, 350,000 yen. The difference of 250,000 yen was for the other trip. I didn't hear anything about it, and I wasn't charged for it. Are you okay? I must have given the wrong name. I'm not going with you. Of course not. What? My brother-in-law thought it was suspicious, so he checked all of your previous reservations. He found several similar cases. What? People who didn't notice, and those who did notice? There must have been a lot of people, huh? I don't know anything! If it's a small amount of money, the smaller the amount, the less likely they are to find out. But then you got a taste for it, so you make the amount bigger. And the bigger they got, the bigger they noticed. And they also found you having an affair. Shut up! Either way, it's 2 days before the trip. Even if we cancel, they're going to charge me a cancellation fee. We have no choice but to go. Of course we're going on the trip. Right? But we're not going with you. What? I told you before, didn't I? I'm not going on the trip you're planning. So then, it's impossible for us to go on this trip. I'm the one planning the trip. I've got us cut out of your plans. What? Mr. Smith resigned, and Mr. Smith's case was transferred to my brother-in-law, and my brother-in-law said it was a scam, so our reservation was cancelled by the branch manager's authority, and rebooked our trip with a different plan. What? He resigned? Of course he did. He had an affair with a client. He helped her cover it up, and he forged documents. That's... Under normal circumstances, he would have been dismissed immediately, but they were able to get him to resign voluntarily. Maybe it's better. When? When did he leave? The week before last week. That's when he said he was going out of town for a while. Then I couldn't get him on the phone. I'd expect him to refuse. I mean, it's his fault. He's the one who did all the wrong things that leads him to resign. And you're the one who put him up to it. He also had a good time. I don't know. Anyway, we're going on another trip. He is taking 2 trips, solo. I hope you have fun. What? 2 trips? Disneyland and a trip to the hot springs. You took a trip to the hot springs with him, so the trip with your mom friends was to Disneyland? That was weirdly convincing. Hey, did they cancel my reservation? Because it was Mia's reservation, they can't just cancel it on their own. Besides, it would be too risky for the scammers to find out, so I canceled just the reservation in our names. That pisses me off! I'm the one who's pissed, right? You used our names without our permission, and then you put a fake on top of it, and then added on the price. I almost got scammed. I'm so sorry. Apologize to the others too. I'm sure just apologizing won't be enough to get you forgiven. Please handle it with sincerity. What? Of course, it's a crime. I didn't mean to do it. I don't know what you meant. I don't know what you think you're doing. It's none of our business. You can be sued. Pay the fees. Wipe your own ass. You're lying! Enjoy your 2 solo trips. Have fun and keep your wits about you. Bye. After that, we set off on our long-awaited trip to the hot spring, with warm hot spring water and delicious food soaked into our tired bodies. As for Mia, I immediately contacted RTB's A-Matchy store. My brother-in-law debunked all of Mia's quibbles. If it was too much, he said, I was told that they would have to bring in the police. Mia broke down with her tail between her legs. She had no choice but to pay the cancellation fee for the 2 trips, and that was the end of the conversation. However, Mia received a message from a previous victim. She received a content-certified mail at her home. Mia was in a panic. Yeon-kun also started to rebel against Mia because of her betrayal in the high school entrance exam. Her lover left her. Her husband asked her for a divorce. Mia is now a semi-reclusive person.
Hey, are you Brian's wife? Because I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be taking care of him from now on. But you know that he's always such a wishy-washy guy, so I really hope that you don't blame him. Don't worry though, I'll make sure to make him very, very happy.
Sorry, who am I speaking to right now? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, right, I should have introduced myself first. I'm Brian's ex-girlfriend, Miranda. I'm also the person who he's dated the longest out of all the other girls he's known. I'm I'm sure you've heard about me already.
Your name is Miranda. I'm sorry to tell you this, but I can't remember Brian ever mentioning knowing a girl like you.
Wait, what? You mean that Brian hasn't even mentioned me once? Well, that's still no problem. Maybe he just didn't want you hearing about how close we were as a couple because he didn't want to make you jealous as his current girl. He was probably just hiding you from you because he knew that you didn't even compare.
Okay, you seriously need to slow down and stop all of this nonsense. So, your name is Miranda and you're one of Brian's exes, right? Just why are you even reaching out to talk to me in the first place?
Why? Well, there's not any particular reason, I guess. I just wanted to know about what kind of girl Brian got with after him and I broke up. He can really have a really interesting taste in women from time to time, so it's my job to make sure that he's making good choices.
And you think that that's appropriate for you to do as his ex? I think most people don't do that to people they used to date.
I don't remember you telling me what I should and shouldn't be doing, thank you. We might have been broken up, but we're still good friends, and there's nothing wrong with that. All I'm doing is being worried like any good friend would, and I can see that he's picked a very surprising girl to get married to. I thought he would have married someone beautiful, and I have to say that I'm just shocked.
And just what is that supposed to mean?
Well, I only mentioned because I think I left quite an impact on his taste from when we were dating. I just thought that he would have married someone strong-willed and clever. Someone special, you know. But I guess he just ended up with some totally basic chick. Funny how life works like that, right?
Well, I guess that I'm sorry for not being the girl that you expected me to be, but you did just admit that Brian did marry me. So I might not know just how close you two were before, but all of that is in the past, and I hope that you realize all of that.
Oh, wow, maybe you're a bit more impressive than I thought. It's almost cute. But I can tell just from this conversation that you're the type of woman who is always trying to solve your husband's problems for him, right? I really, really hate those kinds of girls. You need to be more kind to Brian, but let him spread out his wings on his own, you know?
I don't need you telling me how I should be treating my husband, thank you very much.
Well, fine. Then congrats on getting married or whatever. Save my number just in case you need a hand with anything in the future. For instance, if you two get into a fight, you can just come to me and I'll make Brian feel better afterwards. After all, I know him better than anyone. And that means that I know how to calm him down better than anyone, including you.
Hey, Brian, are you there? I was just curious if you know a woman named Miranda. I think that maybe you two used to date each other.
Miranda? No, I'm sorry, Im, but I don't think I've ever dated a Miranda. Though now that I'm thinking about it, I do have an old friend named Miranda. But we never dated or anything. But what made you want to ask me this all of a sudden?
Well, I think this Miranda girl that you know actually just reached out and messaged me. And she introduced herself as your ex-girlfriend.
Wait, really? That Miranda sent you a message?
Yeah, she said that she was your ex-girlfriend and she was worried about the kind of woman you were married to. And then she went on to say a bunch of other rude things as well. She seemed to really be concerned about how her ex was doing, and she kept talking about you as if she knew you really well. I don't know, I think she was trying to flex on me as your ex or something like that.
Wait just a second. So then, Miranda was really telling you that we used to date?
That's what I said, yes. But now you're telling me that you two never dated, so I don't know what to believe. I don't like whatever is going on and I just want the truth, so be straight with me, Brian.
Emily, I promise you that I'm just as confused as you are. Besides, I was telling the truth when I said that we never ever dated.
You mean it? You two were never a thing at all?
Oh, we were classmates together from middle school on, and even were in the same after-school clubs too. So we did hang out a lot and spend a lot of time together. Though she was always acting more like a fussy mother than she was a friend, you know. She was always trying to do things for me and take care of me.
So then, it sounds like you two were actually quite close then.
Oh, we were. And I will say that other classmates would tease us and say that we looked like a couple, but I'll swear to you that we did not date. I'm not even sure that she looked at me as a potential person to date. I always felt like she saw me as more her kid or something like that.
And you don't know any of other Mirandas from your past that might be lurking around?
As far as I know, that's the only Miranda that I've known. But we both ended up going to different colleges and didn't really keep in touch after that. And ever since then, I don't think I've ever met another Miranda. But I guess she was trying to use our old friendship to try and get something out of you.
But why would she come to me with this when I don't even know who she is? I mean, I've never even seen a picture of this woman. I'll be honest, I was kinda scared.
I'm sorry, Emily. I wasn't trying to make light of this. It's just a bad joke.
Well, I hope you don't mind me asking, but I have to know for myself. You promised me that you and Miranda aren't talking at all right now? And you haven't seen her since finishing high school.
I swear to you, since we both left for college, I haven't spoken to Miranda at all. Wait, that's not entirely true. There was one school reunion for middle school, where her and I were both there, but so were all of our other classmates, and there was so much happening that day that we didn't even really get to talk.
Well then, just why is she coming out of nowhere to bother me? I don't like it. It doesn't feel right.
I agree. It sounds like she's up to something, and I don't like it. I think you and I'll have to just be a little more careful for the time being.
Hello there, Emily. It's been a while since we've last talked, right? How are you? It's me, by the way, Brian's ex, Miranda.
Hello, Miranda. Yes, it's been a while since you and I last spoke, hasn't it? May I ask why you're messaging me today?
Well, I actually have a really big announcement I just have to tell you. I feel so sorry for you, but I'm overjoyed because Brian and I have gotten back together. And that means that he doesn't need you anymore, so you can just get lost.
Excuse me? What are you talking about this time?
I mean that I want you to divorce Brian from me right now. After that, him and I can go out and get married. So I'll give you until the end of the day to get all the paperwork done.
Are you kidding me right now? Did you really just message me to tell me to leave my husband? And do you really think I buy that you two have gone back together? Can you just leave me alone? I don't have time for this nonsense.
Nonsense? And just what makes you think that any of this is nonsense? I know that it's tough to accept, but it's the truth, and you need to face it. Because I am telling you the truth, Brian and I have really gotten back together. Although I always knew that he always still had feelings for me, so I'm not surprised at all. But it was him who came to me asking if we could get back together.
Are you serious? You're telling me Brian searched you to be out with you?
Well, I'm sure you noticed that this is the first time we talked in a while, right? The reason for that is because after we talked the last time, Brian reached out to me and asked if I'd like to meet up with him. So we went out to a bar, just the two of us, had some drinks, and Brian used the liquid courage to confess his feelings for me. But again, I always knew that he'd never given up on me, so I knew it was a matter of time before this happened.
I seriously doubt that Brian would ever go and do something like that. And I have no idea when he would have the time to sneak off to a bar to talk to you.
Well, of course you wouldn't know about any of this, would you? I mean, do you really think that a husband would just tell his wife that he's going to go out and grab drinks with an ex?
So then you're telling me that Brian kept all of that a secret from me and did actually go out to meet you? Not only that, but even though he has a wife, he still confessed having feelings for you.
Yes, I'm afraid that you've described it exactly well. I tried to turn him down at first, but I didn't want to be a homewrecker or anything like that. I told him that he had to let go of a beautiful girl like me and just focus on his wife instead. But then he told me that he didn't care what happened to you. So when I realized that he wasn't going to be changing his mind, I had no choice but to get back together with him.
Oh, please, don't try to make it sound like you were forced into doing this. And know that I have no intention of hanging Brian over to you and all.
Well, you say that, but Brian has already made the decision for himself. So I'm so sorry to ruin your marriage, but it's what Brian wants, and I don't think you have the right to deny him that.
I seriously can't believe what I'm hearing right now.
Well, it doesn't matter whether or not you do, because it's the truth and we're back together now. You're just in the way, so just get lost already.
I just want you to know that Brian is here and is cracking up at all you're saying.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that Brian is laughing about you claiming that you and him got back together. His face is literally turning blue, he's laughing so much.
Laughing at what? What are you even talking about? Brian is here with me right now. How can he be next to you?
I'm sorry, but Brian is here with me, his wife. And we're actually on our honeymoon right now in Tahiti.
What do you mean? I don't understand what's going on.
It means that no matter how many times you tell me to leave Brian, it isn't going to happen. Anyways, we're going to be out of the country for a couple of weeks, so...
So you two are really on your honeymoon right now?
That's right, and Brian still hasn't stopped laughing at this business you just tried pulling. He remembered you well, but only as an old friend. Certainly not any kind of girlfriend. And the reason I knew you were lying about him meeting in a bar because he's sick after just getting a couple of drinks. Sure, we've had a few drinks here and there on vacation, but he would never drink to the point that he's saying things like what you said he did.
Now, hold on just a second. This doesn't make any sense. How are you two going on your honeymoon when Brian has already taken me back? He's mine. He shouldn't be going on a honeymoon with you at all.
For the last time, Miranda, I'm not yours and we did not get back together. I don't know what fantasy world you've been living in, but you really need to wake up. But did you really think that I would ever want to get with a fussy woman like you? And some of the stuff you were saying was making me crack up so much that my stomach hurt. I mean, there was no way that you were being serious about that stuff, right?
How can you say something like that? I know that you're with your wife, so you have to be careful with what you say. But you confessed to me. You told me that you wanted to get together with me, and that's a fact.
Wait a second. What I told you was that I would always want to be your friend. You were the one who misconstrued that to mean that I wanted to date you.
You mean you just want to stay as friends?
But I don't get why you had to lie about you and I going out to get a drink. And yeah, I did reach out and invite you to a bar, but you left out the part where the rest of our middle school class was there. I invited everyone out to see if they'd want to catch up, but again, you totally warped what actually was happening.
No, this can't be happening.
And yeah, I had some drinks, but not many because I'm so weak. And because of that, I remember everything that happened that night. Though I will say that it was fun getting to hang out with everyone, and I was thinking about doing it more regularly. And yeah, we sat next to each other and talked, but I wasn't confessing my love to you.
But I could see the passion in your eyes. I could see all the memories we had come flooding back. That's when you knew that I was always the right girl for you. That's when you realized you were still madly in love with me.
No, not at all. How did you even get any of that out of what I was saying to you? I mean, we couldn't even get back together if I wanted to, because we were never even dating in the first place. I don't have any lingering feelings for you, because they were never there in the first place. We never, ever had any sort of romantic connection. So I got no idea what you've been talking about.
No, that can't be true. You're lying, because you're with your wife.
I'm not at all. Even at the get-together, you were trying to tell me what to do, how to eat, to sit up straight. You were just acting like you used to, and all it did was get on my nerves.
But I was only doing all of that because we were dating, right? I mean, everyone in school said that we were like husband and a wife, remember?
That was just what dumb little kids say. I was never once under the impression that we were dating. I don't think I ever could date someone like you, to be honest.
But why not? I'm beautiful and loyal, and I'm always taking care of you.
That's just it. You think you're all those things, but I never saw what you were doing as helpful. I always thought that you were just being way too fussy. And I was prepared to maintain a friendship with you, but now I know that's going to be impossible. Now, as my wife explained to you, we're on our honeymoon and don't want any unnecessary distractions.
Don't think that you've beaten me yet, you ugly sow. I haven't even shown you what I can really do. I will make Brian mine, do you hear me? I know him better than anyone, and I will make him fall in love with me.
What are you even talking about this time, Miranda?
I mean that Brian said he was going to try and hang out with our old classmates. Well, I am going to be at every single one of those meetups, and I will steal your husband from you.
Well, yes, he did say that he was going to try and make everyone hang out more often, but those plans have fallen, though. I'm afraid that you won't have any more chances to go after Brian anymore.
What do you mean?
Well, the plans fell through because Brian knocked me up while on our honeymoon. I decided to stop drinking when I started feeling weird while we were there. And I took a test when we got back home and it was positive.
So you're pregnant with Brian's baby?
That's right, and we're both overjoyed. But Brian reached out to his classmate and told them that he wouldn't be going out drinking while I'm pregnant. But all of his friends were very, very understanding, and said that they can't wait till they can all hang out together another time.
But this isn't fair. Why do you get to start a family with Brian while I'm just here, single?
I don't know. That's probably something you should look inside yourself to find the answer to. Either do that or go talk to a therapist.
I hate you. I never want to hear from you again. And I certainly never want to see you as long as I live.
Deal. That actually sounds great to me, actually. Anyways, on that note, have a nice life. After that, I never ever heard from Miranda again. Brian, on the other hand, would still get messages from her asking if he wanted to go out and grab drinks with her. But he always told her that he wanted to be by my side in case I needed anything and avoided it that way. Brian even told me that Miranda started reaching to the other classmates, asking if they wanted to go out for a drink together. I hear she's basically blacklisted from any get-togethers now. Brian insists that she's a good person deep down, but just has a lot of issue. Frankly, I'm surprised that his heart is big enough to keep defending her. Either way, I just hope that one day Miranda wakes up and realizes the error of her ways. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.